Good evening and welcome to Injustice Investigations. I'm Al Scott. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. So good to see you all this evening. Got a couple of stories I want to speak on this evening. Angie Terry, hello to you. Thank you for tuning in this evening. And I'm going to get right to the point here. Let me say this. If you, this is my opinion, I'm a firm believer that if you have been a trifling, low down, insignificant mother to your child, I dare you on Mother's Day have the audacity to hold your hand out to receive a gift because you gave life to a child. Lisa from Louisiana, thank you for tuning in. Good evening. Many of you may not agree to that, but as Tyler Perry would say, I watched a dog give birth. That don't make it a mother. If you're trifling, if you're insignificant, what the hell should we celebrate you for on Mother's Day? What have you done to deserve a gift on Mother's Day? Illinois is in the house. Angie, welcome. Tennessee, is it Petrie, I think. Hello from Tennessee. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. I don't know what's going on, but there are some serious issues going on with children. A 4-year-old girl in Houston, Texas, Maleah Davis, has been missing, presumed dead, since May 3rd. Detectives think she may have been dismembered. Her mother and the stepfather especially are the focus of the investigation. I don't know if many of you know about Brittany, who is the child's biological mother. The biological dad is Craig Davis. Now, Brittany has not had her children back for quite 90 days. Fairfax, Virginia. Alexander, good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. If I'm right, I think on February the 18th, the kids will return to Brittany. Now, tomorrow is May 22nd. They were due back in court tomorrow to discuss the welfare of the children again and what should we do now. Should they we leave it alone? Is everything fine, or do we need to continue to visit? Well, I think we all know the answer to that. Many people are upset because the judge signed an order for the children to go back to the home. I honestly totally disagree with that. Florida, good afternoon to you. Thank you for tuning in. Do you like that? The court date tomorrow and shit. Do I think that some light on this issue? I don't know. I'm hoping it does. Jacqueline Hall says Mama's boyfriend should not have the title as stepfather. Okay. I don't know if we're going to know any more details pertaining to this case come tomorrow or not. I sure hope so, but right now I don't know. One thing I do know is that I want to know why Judge Lopez signed the order for the children to go back. Now, I understand that the doctors say we cannot really just pinpoint how these things happened to Maleah. Well, I can understand that. Now, since you can't pinpoint that, we can all agree on one thing. Something happened. Accidental or deliberately, something happened. So, since you cannot pinpoint what happened or come somewhat close to what happened, here's what I think the judge should have said. I think we need to call in 2 or 3 more doctors and let them evaluate the case. And with that being said, the kids will remain away from Brittany until I'm satisfied with what you all are bringing me. I am not going to send that child back into a living hell, and I'm not sure of what happened. I'm not talking about a scrape on the knee. I'm not talking about a knot on the head. I'm talking about several brain surgeries. Hello from Connecticut. Good evening, Leah from Connecticut. So why would you send the child back into harm's way? This child, Maleah, was marked for death from day one. From day one, she was marked for death. And it's earthly sad. The ones who have been entrusted with her to shelter her, clothe her, feed her, protect her from all harm, hurt, and danger. And above all, the ones that should have been loving her because she was a gift did just the opposite. Did just the opposite. And now, a 4-year-old girl in Houston, Texas is missing. Not only is there a 4-year-old girl in Houston, Texas that's missing, this 4-year-old girl is presumed dead. This 4-year-old girl from Houston, Texas has been having candlelight vigils. And many have been attending the candlelight vigils. All but one. Can somebody explain to me why in the fuck Brittany, fat ass, has not attended the candlelight vigils for her own damn child? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. I know why. Because she's out going from camera to camera giving damn interviews when the city of Houston, Texas is trying to find her missing and presumed dead child. Her and Malcolm X with the fucking flat toupee. Why are you not at the vid? This is your child. Not only Houston, the world is now doing what Brittany should have been doing from day one, loving her child. But she's going from camera to camera, line, and line. Malcolm X says she's going through a lot. She needs to see a psychiatrist. He's a damn lie. She needs to see the inside of a jail cell. She don't need to see a psychiatrist. She's a killer. She's a killer. Everybody's at the visuals but Brittany. Everybody's sincere with trying to find the child but Brittany. I don't have a problem with anyone disagreeing with me. That doesn't bother me. But here's how we disagree. We disagree with respect for one another. We disagree with respecting one another's opinion. A young lady, she is one of my YouTube subscribers. And she said, I can't think of her name. She said, and I'm paraphrasing, she said, I agree with everything that you said. I like your show, I do. But there's one thing I disagree with you on. And she said, I think Brittany did, I think she liked her child. I think she did. I said, well, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly the way I put it, so I respond. I said, well, again, disagree with me. That doesn't bother me. Because I'm not always right, you are not always wrong, and I'm still teachable until the day that I die. What I say is not law. What I'm finna give you now is my opinion. And my opinion is not a fact, and I'm not trying to pass my opinion off as a fact. This is just my personal opinion. I don't know a mother on the planet that loves her child that likes her child and then kills her child. Ain't no damn love in that. That ain't no love. You love her, yeah, you like her, yeah, but you killed her. There's no love. People say love hurts. Love never hurts. People hurt, and they have the audacity to call it L-O-V-E. When you love if Brittany, I'm going to say with Brittany, if Brittany cared about a child, if Brittany liked a child, if Brittany loved a child, you would not be listening to me call Brittany's name right now, because we would have never known anything about the 4-year-old girl from from Houston, Texas. Now you show me a mother that kills her child and loves her child. I tell you what, I know some mothers will do. I know some mothers will die for their children. I haven't met one that loves them, likes them, and kills them. But I've met many that will die for their children. I've met many that will go out without eating for their children. I've met some women that would do some whorish things, but it didn't make them a whole, just to take care of the children. I've met them. I've met them. By any means necessary, I'm going to take care of mine. If the daddy won't do it, I ain't got time to beg. Let's go. Work hard. Whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it. I gave birth to this. God entrusted this inside of me. Love is a verb, and you learn that in grade school. And a verb shows actions. But Brittany has no emotions whatsoever about her child. And I'm going to say it again, and I say it until the day I die. Brittany hated Maleah. Brittany did not like Maleah. She hated that child. I don't know why, but she hated that child. I don't know why. I don't know why, but she hated that little girl. Brittany has lied so damn much. I'm wondering if Brittany is really her damn name. Somebody says, why should we be cutting out flowers looking for your daughter? But I missed it. Have you listened to, okay. Someone was asking me a question, and I think they was asking me, have I listened to the interview with Darion's father? And I did. I did a video on it the other night. I responded to it, and that's on my YouTube channel, Justice Investigations News. It's on YouTube, and I responded to that. And I'll go just a little bit into it, because there's another girl story that I want to get to tonight. I listened to the entire show. I think it was 48 minutes and 11 seconds, something like that. One thing I do believe is that Joe Vance Sr., I believe he has a genuine concern for what's going on with Maleah. I believe that. He says his son is innocent. I don't believe that. I don't believe his son has done a lot of things that Brittany said he has done. He may have done them. I don't know. But I don't know for sure right now. But what I do know is that we cannot give him a get-out-of-jail-free card, because he has some involvement in this. Now, how much, I'm not sure. I don't know if he's somewhat has some mental issues going on, or if he's just trying to protect Brittany, who is throwing him up on the damn bus. I don't know. But he has some involvement in this. But I don't think it's as deep as Brittany is saying. And I could be 100% wrong. Miss Nash is tuning in from New York City. I'm in a New York kind of mood. That's all I can say to you. I'm in a New York kind of mood. Thank you for tuning in this evening, Miss. Thank you, Miss Nash. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Even his daddy said that she was a sorry mother. Yes, because in the court documents, I'm sorry, Darion Vence's name never comes up. Never comes up in the negative during the CPS hearings. And when it first happened, they were together, him and Brittany. Their mother, Darion's mother, took custody of the kids, if we're believing what Mr. Vince Sr. says. And after doing so, I guess she had spent a lot of time with her. She eventually lost her job for taking care of somebody else's kids. Darion Vince was the sole provider, if we believe what Joe Vince Sr. is saying. He paid all the bills, and he was working. Brittany recently got a job. I don't know if she's still working or not. So he was the sole provider. The kids were not trained how to use the bathroom or talk right. Allegedly, he played a big role in that too. The daddy said he loved those kids, and I believe a lot of things that the daddy was saying. But you also have to remember one thing. You have to remember who's being interviewed here. This is the daddy of the son that's in jail right now, okay? And so a lot of times, I'm not saying he did, but a lot of times parents have a tendency to uphold their children in their wrongdoing or look at their kids and don't believe that they can do anything like that. The first thing a parent will say is that, no, I know my child. And I don't disagree with that. We all know our children. We all know them to a degree. When they step outside of that door, the persona that they give to society is probably totally different from what you know them of. So we should never say, I know what my child will or will not do, because if you attest to that, then you are attesting to a damn lie. That's why you're so surprised when your child gets caught up in different things. Somebody says, yes, it made me sick. And so when he said that, when the reporter asked him, the guy on YouTube, asked him about the photo of Brittany being behind his son, and the daddy said he hasn't seen that photo. Well, he's lying. I mean, every damn photo out you've seen. You would have been more respected, at least by me, if you'd said, I don't want to comment on that. Just as simple as that, But and you all keep 2 dates in mind: April 30th and May 3rd. Just keep those 2 days in mind. April 30th and May 3rd. Now, I don't know, honestly, I was spoken with from home, but I honestly don't know if Brittany had left about 7-something that morning or before then to get to the airport. I don't know. I don't know if she got on that plane. I don't know if somebody else got on that plane in her place. I do not know. But could Brittany have doubled back, went in through a back door, through a window? I don't know. I haven't seen the layout of the apartment. I've received tons and tons of emails with some of you all saying that's what you think she did. Some of you have sent me some text messages, and they're damaging text messages. If these text messages are verified that they did come from Brittany, then they're damaging to her. I haven't released those. I've seen some other outlets have released them to the public, and I'm not until we do some more digging. Just because it has Brittany's name and her number and stuff doesn't always mean that that's necessarily true. Today's technology, you'd be surprised what you can do when you're trying to frame someone, set someone up. But all avenues, I think, needs to be looked into. We cannot leave no stones unturned. And rest assured that every interview that Brittany has done and is doing, the police are watching. And they're going to play them over and over and over again. Why do I hear that loud music? I don't know where you hear loud music because there's no music here. But hopefully you can hear me. Try not to focus on any loud music because you don't hear any loud music here. But if you do, zero it out. Okay. We want to try to stay focused here on the case. Let me answer this since that individual said that. That's a fan. No, there's a ceiling fan here, but good Lord Jesus, I can't hear it, and I know you can't hear it. You might hear it's raining, so you might hear drops of rain falling on the building. You might hear that. But let's just try to stay focused on what we're talking about. And incidentally, let me say this to you. Many of you are asking for me to stop calling Cornell X Malcolm X because I'm staining Malcolm X's name. Well, let me say this to you. I'm not going to stop doing that. I'm not going to stop doing that. I'm not going to stop doing that. There is nothing that you or I or anyone can do on the planet to stain Malcolm X's name. He was a well-respected man. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. We cannot stain his. That when I do that, that's done in sheer comedy. So don't lose focus. Let's stay on the issue. That shouldn't be your damn concern about me staining Malcolm X's name. I can't do that. There's nothing I can do to stain his name. I mean, it's like Trump's trying to stain former President Barack Obama. It's written down in history. You can't change it. You may not like it, but it's nothing you can do to stain his name. Nothing. There's nothing I can do to stain Malcolm X's name. It's all done in comedy. So give God the glory for that. Malcolm X, somebody said, love it. Thank you, Julie. Now, before we get to the next little girl here, I'm hoping in due time that handcuffs are placed on Brittany. Brittany's lying. Brittany is a fake. When the reporter pointed to the monitor of her daughter, this is what she did. She dropped her head extremely fast. That's guilt. A mother would have, probably would have broke down. She's out with new outfits on, got her hair, laid to the side, fried back to the side. She's on here, her and Malcolm X sitting there. And he said, don't say that. You're getting into CPS stuff right now. It's just a damn question, Malcolm X. Did you hurt the child or not? That's not going to hurt a case. They've already asked her that. So if she says no, okay, how's that going to damage? If she says yes, oh, she lied, right? Listen to me. I don't know how smart Malcolm X is, or maybe, I don't know, but I don't think he's that smart. Or he just don't give a damn, or he's super stupid because he's lying for her. Surely he knows he's lying for her, because if you go back to the very first time we met Brittany said, when they asked if somebody had ever harmed the kids, period, no, we're not those kinds of people. No, we're not those kinds of people. Well, something happened between that day and I think 24 hours later she came, oh yeah, Vince did. He was molesting my daughter all the time. And you never called the police. You never called your authorities. You never reported this into the courtroom. Not one mention of this is in the CPS reports. Not one damn mention of anybody named Darion Vince molesting your 4-year-old child. But you just thought about this shit. What about what you told the reporter? That nobody did. We're not those kinds of people. Okay, so you spoke for 2. We're not those kinds of people. 2, you and him. So what changed between then and 48 hours later? He did do it. And your ass sat there and didn't do nothing. You never called the authorities. You never did nothing. And yet, you left her, the child that was being molested by Darion Vince. You left that child in Darion Vince's care, and you said out of your mouth that he molests the child. That when he takes her to daycare, sometimes he don't take her in, he bring her back, and he molests her. But you never called the authorities. There's not one police record of you calling the authority on your man saying, he's spitting on my child, and when he bathes her, he molests her then, and sometimes he beats us till I see blood, and I can't take her to the hospital. Not one time did your fat ass file a complaint. Now, if we are going to believe Joe Vince Sr., Darion's father, he says that's virtually impossible because his son goes to work from 9 to 5. I don't know who, but somebody somewhere lying. And here's what I suggest we do. I suggest we lock all you motherfuckers up until we find out who's telling the truth. It's as simple as that. I believe in so many ways, this is not a fact. This is just what I'm saying. It's just my opinion, and I'm not trying to pass it off as a fact. What I'm saying is this here. I believe that in many ways, Darion Vince is being thrown up under the bus. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's innocent because he's not. But how much involvement in this, I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. But he has some wrong in this. He does. CPS has some wrong in this. The judge has some wrong in this. Brittany, all of it. All of it. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. You mean to tell me that you was okay with getting on a plane to go bury your loved one and leave your child with a predator? With a predator that you said he molested one time. No, not one, two. No, not two, three. No, a lot of times. Well, that didn't bother you. It couldn't have bothered you, Brittany, because you left her in his care. So I think you're lying. And when I first heard her say that, I said, bitch, please. That's all this bitch, please. Come on. Look. If a mother, I know some mothers would not leave their daughters alone with a biological daddy, not to mention steps. But we can't keep putting everything on steps, because if she allowed this to go, it was okay with her if it happened, or she was participating in it. She was participating in it. Brittany don't need a spokesperson. Brittany needs a criminal defense attorney. That's what Brittany needs. Her mother, she's a suspect to me. Darian Vince and I was sitting down one day last year, we were talking, and we were talking about killing folks. And he said if he ever killed somebody, he knew the perfect place to take them, and they'd never find him. The mother-in-law and the son-in-law talking about committing murders. Somebody said she needs Lisa and Jackson. You showed it. She showed needed. Okay, so when you sent the search team out there, they was acting on the tip that you gave them, which turned out to be bullshit. He didn't even have a poster out. If we believe what Joe Vince Sr. says, that yes, his son worked at the post office, but he did not deliver mail. As a matter of fact, he worked in the mail room. As a matter of fact, he only worked 72 damn hours. As a matter of fact, it was a temp service. What you say? Listen, when I was in college, I studied body language, and a lot of times your body will tell things that your mouth will never say. First saw Brittany, and I've said this before, standing up when she first came, talking about what Vince did, standing there shaking, Malcolm X with the toupee. He said, look, you can see she's visually shaking. Visually shaking my ass, she's deliberately shaking. And all this with her head. I'm getting thirsty. Somebody said she's like Chris Water, who wants Chris Rock. I guess not to Chris Rock. I got to see what she just said. Frenchco, I think I said right, says Brittany acts as though I guess everything is okay. Well, yeah, and I'm telling you why she acts like that. When you have been a liar probably all of your life, and when you tell the little smallest of simple lies that you've been telling to simple-minded people, they don't question them. And now you've gotten to a point to where you think you can tell them simple, elementary lies to the world, and we will believe them too. Not us. Bullshit. But then some people have lived a lie so long that they now believe the lies that they are telling themselves. You can lie all day long to the police, and they'll listen, and they'll take your statement, and they'll go as long as they want to go with you. But here's one thing they're going to do. They're going to compare what you said to what the evidence say. Gotcha. Gotcha. I know some mothers would be out there now in their damn robe looking for their child. She talks about her child in past tense. I see you, Miss Presley. She talks about her child in past tense. Why? She knows she's dead. She said the other day, I believe my child is dead. No shit. Now can you just tell us where the body's at? You all keep saying, why don't he just tell us where the body's at? No, why don't they just tell us where the body is? But you might be surprised, Darion might not know where the body at. He might not know. He might not know. But Brittany and her witch-looking mama, they some evil people. They look evil. Someone said they gave them chills or evil spirits, and I responded. I said, I swear to God, I feel the same way when I see that woman. The same way. Watch this. Watch this. And then we're going to get to the next service. We got to get out of here. Watch this. If I don't, my child don't eat if I don't feed him. My child go naked if I don't clothe him. My child will live from pillar to post or out in the streets if I don't shelter them. My child will grow up to be mean, hateful, and evil if I don't be the one to first introduce them to love. My child can do nothing without me. They're dependent on me. They trust me. Whatever I tell them, they'll believe it and they'll do it. Be it wrong or be it right. Because that's dad. That's dad. And they're going to do it. They love you. When they get off that school bus, they know one door that they're going in. Because that's where they live. When they flip that switch, they don't know nothing about no light bill. Drink with them about no water bill. All they know is I'm home. And it should never, ever hurt for a child to go home. But that child lived in nothing but hell. That child, her life was a living nightmare. The only time she probably got a little peace is when she was in daycare. I know some mothers, if they think the man looking at their child, pack your shit and you got to go. I don't give a damn who you are, what you got to go. But Brittany didn't. Brittany didn't. Brittany said it never happened. We're not those kinds of people. But a few days later, Brittany came and said, Darion Vince, but you did nothing. You're plain land, and you don't go home. You're plain land, you don't go home. You don't call the police. Tell search. Well, I went there. I couldn't get in. I didn't have my key. Well, no, I didn't go there because I didn't have my key. Well, I called, but nobody answered. And you just carried your ass on to your mama's house wherever you went and went to sleep. And you didn't report them missing until the next damn day. But you didn't do it then. You went to Darion Smith's family house and they called the police. What the fuck? So the man you said been molesting your child was keeping your child while you was out laying your father to rest. You felt okay with that? That didn't bother you? I'm asking because I'm stupid. I'm asking because you told the media that I never thought he would do anything to harm her. What the fuck is molestation? You're saying one thing Tuesday, and come Wednesday you said something totally different. Spoiler alert, Brittany. We're listening. We're listening. We're listening. And so are the police. Every interview you're doing, they watch. And they're going to play it back on your ass. You should be under the jail. You should be put so far in the fucking prison system, they're going to have to pump daylight to your fat cupcake ass. You are a monster in human form. Nothing about you says mother. Nothing. Nothing. everything she says should be questioned. And and I'm sure, I guess it is, when the police looked at her history. Okay, well, you got him, right? Lock her ass up. So she's got to be in on this. Look at her history. They were due in court come tomorrow, May 22nd. Watch her body language. I counted the seconds. One time I think it took her 15 seconds to answer a question. Okay, well, why is that important? Because usually when you're taking a long time to answer a question, you're trying to think of a lie or you're trying to get the right words to say it. And this here, ain't a damn thing wrong with you, Brittany. Hold your head up. Answer the damn question. God, I wish I could interview her. I swear I do. Because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. They may go easy when they interview you, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's okay to play dumb, but don't play dumb too long. Don't play dumb too long. March 18th in Georgia. I think her name is Janiyah Brooks. She was 3 years old. March 18th. Here's what happened on March 18th. It was on March 18th at 12:15 p.m. She was pronounced dead. I've shared her picture on our page several times today. 3-year-old black girl from out of Georgia. Now let me tell you what happened to her if you haven't heard. Remember this, it should never hurt to go home. It should never hurt to go home. This 3-year-old girl was beaten and raped by her mother's boyfriend. Where was her mom? Her mom stood and watched the whole thing and did nothing. Some of the things I'm about to say might be a little disturbing to you. The child died Saturday after spending a week on a ventilator with doctors noticing that she had wounds to her vagina area, her ribs, as well as swollen hands and head trauma. The doctor said she was also covered in other wounds all over her body. The police received a call to respond to their residence on March 13th. The emergency response team were told that a child was unresponsive. Police say the child had been raped. The child had been beaten to death. And the mother stood and watched her boyfriend rape the child and beat the child to death. Crystal Brooks, 19 years old, is accused of letting Gregory Parker, her boyfriend, 20 years old, sexually abuse and fatally wound her daughter while she stood there and she watched the whole episode unfold. Police arrested both of them. Gregory Parker, the boyfriend, has been charged with aggravated molestation, rape, aggravated sodomy, aggravated battery, and first-degree cruelty to children. And now you can go ahead and add first-degree murder. The mother, Christopher Brooks, 19 years old, faces aggravated battery, battery, cruelty to children in the first degree, and given a false statement initially to police. I think it's pathetic, it's sickening, it's diabolical, very disturbing, and outright wrong. Your child that you gave birth to, your child, you would stand and you would watch someone rape your child, your 3-year-old child, and you stood and you watched him sodomize your child, and you did nothing. Many keep saying they should stop letting stepdads come in. Well, you may be right, but we cannot put all stepdads in the same cup. You can't do it. Somewhere, this has not been proven. This is just me. This is my opinion. It's not a fact, and I'm not trying to pass my opinion off as a fact. When certain mothers do this, or participate in this, or allow this to go on, sometimes I wonder, had they already been doing it to the child themselves, or was it always some sick fetish that they had in the back of their minds, and he only came along and boosted that high because it was his thing too? This is a 3-year-old girl that's dead at the hands of her mother. Tamika said it seems like she loved the man more than she loved her own child. And if that be the case, then it's earthly sad. And truth be told, some women just shouldn't give birth. Why would you give life to take life? Why would you give life to take life? 3-year-old girl, a 4-year-old girl, never ever got to play. Never ever got to laugh and laugh for long periods of time because they was placed in the hands of evil. You gonna stand there and you let him do this? Bitch, you sick. You sick. I have no sympathy for him. I have no sympathy for him. That's not just the same with Brittany. There's not a punishment on the planet, in my opinion, that would fit the crimes that has been afflicted upon these 2 little girls. I can't understand it. And even if you cried or you showed remorse, that wouldn't mean a damn thing to me because it's over. And most of the times you're only crying and showing remorse because you're not crying because of what you did. You're crying because you got caught for what you did. I have no pity for you. If I was a prosecutor, I know sometimes, plea deals are offered because they may have just a lot of circumstantial evidence, don't want to go to court, the budget's not right or whatever. I mean, that's no plea deal. We're not going to do no pleas. No, if you tell me where the body is, then that's fine. If you don't, then that's fine. I'll take a chance on losing the case in the courtroom because I'm not going to give you no fucking plea. I'm not going to play that game with you. I know sometimes you have to give a lot just to get a little. But in these 2 cases, I'm not plea bargaining the goddamn thing. You going to tell me? No. Okay, well, we're gone. We'll see you in the courtroom. It's as simple as that. If we don't love the children, if we don't protect the children, who will? Just because you push a child out does not make you a mother. Just because you push a child out does not mean you should hold your hand out on Mother's Day so someone can celebrate you being a mother. Before you can be celebrated being a mother, you have to first be a mother. It's as simple as that. These are some issues that are coming up, and they're coming right behind one another. And I think it's time that we all got together and start having dialogues to address these issues. Because we remember years ago, it was just white folks doing it, but now black people are doing it. Or were they doing it back then, but we just didn't know as much as we know today because of social media. All of you that's watching me right now, you have the power to put anything, just about anything you want on Facebook, and it go global. Tonight, I challenge each one of you, when this video is over, to say something about these two girls I just told you. Everyone that's listening, when the video is over, I'm begging you, say something about these two little girls on your page. If you have some pictures that you have created of them and you want them shared, if you will inbox them to me on the Injustice Investigations Facebook page, I will put them out. Make sure you get your credit for creating that post about them. I'm challenging you. If you're listening right now, I want you each to say something about these two girls. This has nothing to do with color. This has nothing to do with color. This is about a human being being mistreated, placed in the hands of evil. If I can't feel comfortable in my mother's arm, then I dare not be in this house. Brittany's guilty of a lot of things. And I'm not going to stop digging. If they don't find the truth, I'm digging to find it myself. I love you all. I appreciate you all supporting this channel. May God continue to bless you and keep you and love your children. Don't love them to death. Love your children to life. God gave them to you. I don't care if you had them natural or you adopted them, because you can be a mother and never ever have had given birth to a child. I know a lot of mothers like that. Never ever gave birth. But some of them are better mothers than some of the women who gave birth. Somebody somewhere is counting on you. So whatever you do tonight, don't let them down. Again, I love you. I thank you all for tuning in to tonight's show. This video will be uploaded to YouTube within the next 30 minutes. Remember, I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong. And be it the Lord willing, I will see you on the radio. You all have a good night. And again, thank you for tuning in.